Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my live. Welcome, Lol. Welcome. We are all being watched. Welcome, Andrew. Welcome, EV. Welcome, Giacomo. And did I miss anyone? I don't think so. How are you guys all doing tonight? Let's talk about the chasm of creepiness. I was doing a consult call with somebody last night, and this came to me. Okay, it came to me, this image of a guy hovering over an abyss, okay? Um, Teetering at the edge, on the one side being a nice guy, on the other side of the cliff, on the other side of the chasm, I should say, being an asshole, being a creepy asshole. And he has to jump. He has to take a leap of faith. Does he dare to jump and find out what is on the other side of nice guy? Every man must make this leap, okay? So, how do you make the leap? Can you make the leap? Are you willing to make the leap? Do you recognize the terror of the abyss, of leading into the chasm of creepiness? What do you guys think? We can do some Q&A tonight. We can talk more about creepiness. We can talk more about this abyss, the call of the void, staring into the abyss. So, if you guys have any questions for me, let me know. Let me know how you're doing in your dating lives. Have you got rejected lately? Let me ask you that. Not have you gone on a date, but tonight it's going to be, have you got rejected? Have you even put yourself out there enough to get rejected? It's hard, guys. I know. It's painful. It's terrifying. It's humiliating. It's hard. But have you even got a rejection? Just a rejection. Just that. Or are you just scared to even get rejected at this point? Which is okay because, we've all been there. Let's see what EV says. Last night, in the middle of our intimate time together, she said that she wants me to destroy her with my strength. I lightly said destroy to keep it PG. Now, question, Evie, I'm confused. Did she say that she wants you to destroy her? Oh, you're saying she didn't say destroy her. You're just using like that as a euphemism, kind of. What she said was actually much worse. Like, did she say, like, what did she say? I'm guessing it's like has something to do with death. I don't know. Can you type it out, perhaps? Just give us another hint. Give us a clue. But yeah, it's some dark BDSM style fantasy right there. Am I shocked? No. Am I surprised? No. People are into some pretty intense things. Okay, but let us know what she actually said. Now, let's read some other comments while you guys tell me. And this is a question I always like to ask. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you're a Chad. You feel like a Chad. You feel like on top of the world. You feel like you could just like walk up to any girl and get her, versus 1, you feel like the creepiest loser to ever walk the earth. Where is your self-esteem? Where do you rate yourself? And, just how do you feel? Are you feeling on top of the world? Or are you feeling just like, I'm hopeless? Scale of 1 to 10. Now, if I were to translate this into like the female gaze, 10 being like, I am a goddess who can have any man I want. All I got to do is just look at him, flirt with him, wrap him around my finger, and 1 being like, I am a pink-pilled femcel or whatever they call them. uh And this is just, guys, how you feel about yourself. I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with 7.5 because, where I once felt I was, feeling like on top of the world, now I'm kind of like, how did I do that again? I don't know. So, yeah, I guess this is a game scale. Truth Bill says that. Anyway, guys. And how are you guys doing emotionally? 1 to 10. 10 being best day of your life, 1 being worst. I'm going to give myself a 4 because I'm feeling very exhausted. But you guys always cheer me up. So that's why I wanted to do a live. All right. Now let's get back to reading some comments. So, Andrew says this is gripping. Okay, it might have been previously gripping, but let's hope it's still gripping. Probably not. But thank you, Andrew. Mac14 says, I'm getting ready to clap cheeks. In what sense, Mac? Giacomo says I'm a mouth breather. Why do people think that's such a bad thing to be? Like, I heard it's unhealthy, but Mark Berry says, hi from down under, just shooting some pool on a new table. You look amazingly as always. Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate the compliment. That is nice of you. So, AH says it's a good topic. All right, chasm of creepiness. Let's get into it a little later. Truth Pill Now says, yes. This dude says, good evening. We are all being watched says, who said I was a nice guy? Okay, we are all being watched. Seriously, I am from Westminster, London. Okay, is that like a bad part of town we're all being watched? Let me know. I mean, I love London, but I'm not familiar with all the neighborhoods, so. Liquid VHS says the best thing to do as a man is to stack egregious amounts of money and then finally women will fall in line. Well, I'm not saying it's not effective, Liquid VHS. If you have an egregious amount of money, you're certainly going to be attracting your fair share of sugar babies and gold diggers, along with some other women who probably see you as, more promising as a prospect than before. But is it the most effective or best thing to do? I don't know about that. I don't think so personally. Evie says yes, it is something to do with death. Oh God, Evie, this woman be crazy. That's too intense even for me, but it's freaky. But people are into that. Ugh. Consensual, of course. Scary. Gives me the creeps even thinking about it, but yeah. Dandy says I'm a nice guy, but I finish second or last. That's what they say, right? Nice guys always finish last. Truth Pill Now says, I like a girl at my office. How should I approach her? Well, have you tried, making conversation with her at work? Maybe asking her opinion on something, commenting on something in the room, just striking up kind of like casual conversation. Because that would be good to kind of just like develop some kind of rapport at work. And then you can ask her to hang out outside of work. Okay. Maybe with some friends, maybe like one-on-one, and then hopefully you can escalate it and it can become more romantic. Like you could take her to a romantic setting if it's going well. That's one approach, or you could just straight up ask her on a date. But yeah, it's probably better to develop some rapport, actually talk to her first by making some small talk to start off with, and then maybe ask her opinion on something at work. That's a great way to get a girl talking. Okay? In an open-ended, non-yes, no way, as I always tell you guys. Works on me, that's for sure. What do you think, Truth Pill Now? What stage are you at with this girl? Giacomo says, I've definitely been creepy and not understanding why, but I kept on seeking new interactions with women until I figured out what it was that I was doing. But first, I had to not care at all. That's incredible, Giacomo. Share with the class, what were you doing when you finally figured it out? Let us know. That would be very vital for us all to hear. And congratulations on that. It's, 'cause not many could probably hang in there like that. 'Cause, 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 So EV says creepiness is all about awkwardness and not giving space at all to women. Congruence is the key to breaking away from the creepy zone. Well, that's an interesting theory, EV. So tell us more about this. Um, what do you mean by not giving space to women? Is it kind of like being too locked in, like horny, desperate, and just trying to like go straight for sex? What are you saying there, EV? Fill us in a bit more. AH says, I got rejected, but she seemed a lot happier to see me next time I saw her, so I feel pretty good about it. That's incredible, AH. That is the way it often goes because you asking her out or, putting yourself out there and giving her a compliment, even if she rejects you, one, it can make her see you as more masculine. And two, it's almost like you gave her a compliment. You expressed interest and it's almost like you had a conversation. So now it's like you're friends now. You almost establish a connection. That's why I sometimes tell you guys, now you're friends. Now you can make a move later. Don't tell anyone I said that, but yeah, that's a lot of times how it works. And yeah, if you just take the rejection well, you act like, oh, no problem. It's just you're so gorgeous. Why wouldn't she kind of be like friendly with you next time? Oh, that guy said I was gorgeous. That was really nice. I have a boyfriend, but that guy likes me. And he wasn't like creepy or, triggered or aggressive about it. He seems like a cool guy, you know? So Liquid VHS says if Jeff Bezos has to worry about his girl, we're all hopeless out here in 2023. A lack of Jesus will do that to you. Well, if you assume that money is like the ultimate trump card, then yeah, it's like mind blowing to you that Jeff Bezos could like get divorced or his wife would leave him. But that's the thing. It's not all about money. I mean, to a girl, Jeff Bezos is kind of like attractive because he's gonna give her a crazy lifestyle and all the money she could want. But is she kind of like necessarily into his personality or his masculinity? He probably comes off a little bit of a nerd to a lot of girls, okay? It wouldn't really be their ideal. He's not really the complete package, okay? Of course, they're willing to overlook all of that because he's like the richest guy in the world. So, yeah, you got a good deal, right? But he's not a woman's ideal just because he has money. Like women who are obsessed with money, they're giving up one of their main desires in a relationship for money. It's kind of like, yeah, I'm not getting what I want, but hey, at least I got paid. Hey, I'm not getting like my romantic dreams fulfilled. This guy isn't like the number one guy I'd want to have sex with. This guy isn't like who I dreamed of being with, but it's fucking worth it because now I'm rich and I'm the richest like woman in the world or whatever. So Dandy is at 8.5. I'm not sure. Is this on the game scale, Dandy? Very good. I'm happy to hear that, Dandy. Truthful now says scale. He's a 5, average, no game. It's fair. Very fair rating. Okay. Greg says, hi, Vic. Nice to see you. Hi, Greg. Hello, Greg. Smartwater says, how to know if a girl likes you when talking to them? The ultimate question every single time. This is like, I need to make a list, which is just like the top 5 errors that are guaranteed to happen if you are a man. No man lives life as a man without making one of these errors. Your level 1 basic, I want to say basic bitch butt, basic male gaze errors. And number 1 king error of them all is how to know if a girl likes you when talking to them. And this actually relates back to the chasm of creepiness, guys. Because underneath this question, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's like you guys are scared to be creepy. Because if you don't know if she likes you, then how can you know if she's going to think you're creepy? If she has to like you, because if she doesn't like you, you could be considered creepy. You could be considered bad. You could be considered a bad guy. Oh no, right? You could be thrown in jail if she isn't like already giving you enthusiastic consent to have sex with you when she saw you for the first time and she looks at you. That's kind of what you guys want. That'd be your ideal situation because you kind of think girls are like guys. I feel like where you think like a guy sees a woman and he's like, "Let's fuck. I'm ready. All I need is like a green light from you," right? Well, that's not how girls feel. They don't just see a guy and they're like, "Let's fuck right now. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm giving you the sign. Why aren't you picking it up? I'm telling you, let's fuck right now. Please, 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 please." No, 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 no. They never, ever feel that way, except maybe if they're at a club, let's say, and they're already like amped up sexually. They went out to the club because they've been kind of like desperate in a way, like the horniness has been building up for a long time, and it's like the end of the night, and they're like, I plan to have sex tonight. That guy's hot, okay? But at that point, you're gonna know because it's not gonna be subtle, okay? She's probably gonna say something like, "Oh, let's go home together," or like, "I wanna fuck you," or something. Like, this is rare though, guys. This is maybe like one in, this is very, very rare. Don't expect this unless it's like Saturday night at like 4 a.m. or wherever you live, okay? So basically, yeah, how to know if a girl likes you when talking to them. I do feel that the chasm of creepiness is kind of like the subconscious terror behind it all. The fear of being an abuser, the fear of being bad, the fear of being a creepy guy, the fear of your own masculinity, the fear of your desire to have sex, your desire to have casual sex with a girl and leave her and move on to another option. It's like the fear that that makes you a bad person. Okay. What do you guys think? It doesn't make you a bad person. And you guys need to embrace your masculinity. Take the jump and realize that it's okay to be creepy. It's okay to want sex. Yeah, you got to do it skillfully, okay? But if you don't do it skillfully, you shouldn't feel ashamed. Honestly, you shouldn't. And I know this sounds crazy to you guys, but I've said it before in this live and I'll say it again. Sometimes girls find creepiness attractive. All right. Anyway, let's see. Okay, let's see. Andrew is feeling like a 7 game scale. Wow, Andrew, very, very nice. That's a high score. I like it. Seems like you're feeling good. Um, could be better, but still very good. Dandy says you can feel it when a girl likes you. If you're good at reading people, you probably can feel it. Mac, wait. Evie says, could you explain why she wants me to destroy her? Yes, Evie. It is, first of all, a very submissive fantasy. Okay. Read the story of O, the number one like BDSM classic. Okay. That's the ending of the book. It's kind of like the ultimate form of power and control. I guess you could say. Um, and, if she's consensually getting into her BDSM fantasy, and of course, this is not all women, this is just her, okay? Because most women do not share this fantasy, but it can be a way to intensify a feeling of just your kind of like violent, destructive power. And the more that feeling is like intensified, the more intensely she feels submissive, and the more intensely she's going to get turned on. Again, please, for the love of God, do not think this is what all women want. That would be like literally my worst nightmare. However, this is, you know, part of the whole range of like submissive fantasies. When you take submissive fantasies to the extreme, okay, they get pretty dark. They get total slavery, total power, total control, total abuse. Of course, the thing about kink is that it's all done with limits for your personal pleasure in the exact way you want, with your total consent and control, which is different than real life abuse. But it's kind of like experiencing that real life abuse in a safe way where you're not actually being abused, but actually just having fun and playing. But it's kind of like a way of playing with kind of these most powerful, the most powerful feelings, the most intense feelings like we could possibly get in this life. That can be kind of thrilling, you know? It can be really fun because you're just like, I'm bored of all this live, laugh, love shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do something like scary. Let's do something thrilling. Let's do something dangerous. Let's do something taboo. Let's do something that's not allowed. Let's do something that everyone tells me, like, don't even think that. Don't, not just don't do it, don't even think it. It's a crime to think it. And isn't it kind of fun to just kind of like break free from that and be like, well, you can't control me. I'm going to think it because it's just fantasy, you know? So, anyway, that's a big part of it. Jimmy Dare, thank you so much for your super chat. He says, here's a couple bucks for some truth bombs. I'll be listening to this tomorrow early morning. Okay, Jimmy Dare, you challenged me to the truth bomb challenge. Uh-oh, guys. Watch out because this guy just paid me $5 to give you guys truth bombs. So thank you so much, Jimmy Dare. And for you, I will try to give you some truth bombs, and hopefully I can live up to the honesty gods. But yeah, I will try for you, Jimmy Dare. Thank you so much for your super chat. I appreciate it. And have a wonderful night. I really appreciate it. So let's see. Evie, so did you understand that one about, you know, at the, I like to think of like the BDSM stuff as an iceberg, right? It's maybe not the best metaphor, but basically at the tip of the iceberg, we got things that are really acceptable in everyday normal life. We got a guy acting in kind of like typical gender role fashion, pulling out a chair for a woman, paying on a date, opening a door for a woman. These are all Dom moves, but they're acceptable. They're socially acceptable. Do you know what I'm saying? Does it make a woman feel submissive? Yeah, it does. Okay, it's triggering it on a small scale. Now, there's deeper and deeper depths this can go to. At the bottom of the iceberg, we got like extreme kinky fantasies of like slavery, abuse, control, and even crazier stuff than that. But those are the big themes, okay? But even on that smaller scale, like, you know, he's controlling her entry through the door. He's kind of like taking the lead by pulling out a chair for her. He's still the leader. Then at the bottom, he's the leader, but in a much more insane way, right? So yeah, that's the dominance iceberg for you. Anyway. Um We are all being watched as Westminster is where Parliament is, highest crime and corruption, etc. Heavy. Oh, interesting. We are all being watched. I see. Dan D says, if you are seeking, then you do care. You can't seek and not care at the same time. I like that. I like that a lot, to be honest. It's really good. Truth Pill Now says this is about the girl at work. I should definitely start the small talk this week. 100% Truth Pill Now. I am assigning you this as homework. Can you do small talk? If so, how about a little small talk? Just as a baby step. That will get the ball rolling, you know? You got to start somewhere. Small talk. It's been around a long time for a reason. It's good. It allows people to feel each other out, you know? So, Brazos River says, in the friend zone, ask her out. 100% Brazos. This dude says, I read Mode 1 the other day. Is there something you disagree with about the book? Yeah, I need to reread Mode 1 because, I read it a while ago, so I'm sure there are some things I disagree with. However, I encourage you guys to try it out. Try out the method for yourself. See how it works. What did you think of it, this dude? Giacomo says, I went to a huge urban area where I could be anonymous and I would talk to tons of people every day. I made a rule that I had to ask at least 3 girls for their number. This is how you do it, Giacomo. Very, very good. I approve. Wonderful. Evie says, by not giving space to women, I mean not giving her physical and emotional space to breathe. Women need space to feel safe. Well, that's true. We're all being watched as adversarial behaviors and negative mindset. Congruence is the antithesis of this. And it is important to show people unconditional respect, if not goodwill or admiration. I agree with that as well. We're all being watched, unconditional respect. Everybody loves that. Very important. 100%. So Truth Bill now says, what is the best approach to ask her on a date, what to say, and what topics should you talk about on the first date so that it will escalate further? Okay, Truth Pill now. Well, the best approach to ask her on a date is, first of all, remember, there's no perfect line. It's really like you establish like a little bit of a friendship or a banter, and don't go too long on the friendship, but just, chat a little bit here and there at work, and then just invite her to something. Like, let's say she mentioned when you were talking that she likes to drink wine, okay? Then just be like, "Hey, you mentioned you like to drink wine. I found this really great wine bar. Um, would you wanna check it out Friday night with me?" Um, yeah, I mean, that's perfectly fine. Or, "Hey, a bunch of us are meeting after work. Would you wanna come?" And then you can, like, try kind of talking to her at work. I mean, talking to her on this event and kinda, like, developing more of a connection when it's kinda more romantic and dark and, like, people are drinking. But, yeah, you basically wanna make a plan, tell her about the plan, pick a place, pick a day, pick, like, an approximate time, and you just ask her and just ask if she wants to go. I mean, that's what you do. That's, like, what every single guy who I ever went on a date with did. They came up with the plan, they came up with the place, they came up with the time, they came up with the date. And it's okay if she's like, "Oh, no, I can't." Then you just be like, "Oh, okay, what about Sunday?" or whatever. And she's like, "No, I can't, I'm busy." You can kind of feel it out. If she's like, "But I really wanna go." Be like, "Okay, cool, maybe next week. I'll text you later or something about it." And then text her with another plan. That's literally what you have to do. So there's nothing, I mean, best. That's the best. Like, I never heard anyone do anything better than that. I mean, the best is honestly to, if you can, hear something that she's actually into or actually likes, and then tailor the date to be about that. That's the best approach. But yeah, whether you want to kind of like not make it so formal. You can make it formal or you can make it informal and then try to just talk to her in a group setting and be like, let's say everyone's going home, you could ask her then, like, hey, do you want to go to this other place with me? I want to get food. I'm really hungry or something. And then you can kind of split off more one on one because that gives you more time to develop like chemistry. But yeah, I mean, you can either take the formal approach or like the hang out with friends at night approach. Either one is good, but those are definitely the best. And then what topic should you talk about on the first date so that it will escalate further? Well, you want to just have like a normal conversation, but you want to make sure that you're always kind of like, you basically, in my opinion, you, first of all, you want to be looks maxing. Okay, so you look good. Do you look good enough to pass her threshold? Okay, that will help everything. Okay, because then she'll just be like giving you a chance. She'll be giving you a chance to prove yourself. Okay, if you don't look good enough to pass her threshold, you're gonna have to be really good at the talking part. Okay, and you might not even pass muster even then. So make sure you got your hair done. You got on a cool outfit that like girls would approve of, not just guys. Um, Make sure you look good, okay? And also if you wanna, like, work out, I mean, obviously, you can't do this by the time you go on a date, so it's fine, but just in general, remember looks maxing is so much more important than people think it is. If you're, like, balding, for example, you might wanna consider a hair piece. You might wanna consider, like, working your facial hair to emphasize your features. You might wanna consider colored contacts. You even might wanna consider makeup. Crazy, right? Why not? Okay. Pull out the stops and the looks maxing. You don't have to go there. You don't have to go that far, but you could. Okay. Anyway, so once you've kind of like passed her threshold, she's going to be waiting for you to kind of like prove yourself as kind of a masculine guy on the date. Okay. She's like, he looks good. You know, yeah, you got the moves, but have you got the touch? You look good, but now can you act like a man? And create chemistry and escalate things further. So, some things you can do to escalate things further are basically trying to make, well, it's like the runway, right? You want to start off like small with like baby steps. So, in my opinion, that's first just like genuine interest in her, okay? But then you wanna give a compliment, okay? And yes, there's a lot of bad ways to give a compliment, but there's a lot of good ways to give a compliment. Like, I used to think just, "Oh, compliments are good," but then I saw some of you guys giving, like, horrible compliments, and I'm like, "Not like that." So a good way to do a compliment, and I always tell you guys this, so I feel like I'm repeating myself, but a really good thing to do is while she's talking, just stop her and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I lost focus for a second because you look, I have to say, you look absolutely gorgeous in that dress tonight." Or, by the way, you look stunning tonight. You kind of give an offhanded compliment that's kind of like confident. It's not like you don't have to try to downplay it, like, you look cute or you look good. You can literally say, like, you look gorgeous, you look stunning, you look beautiful. But you want to say it in kind of like a calm way, like, I'm evaluating you 'cause I'm like a man, I'm like a gentleman, and I see, like, you look good, and you just wanna go back to the conversation, like it's kinda nothing, you know what I mean? You could just be kinda be like, but that makes her feel the chemistry. That makes her feel, "This is like a man who is attracted to me. This isn't just a friend. This is, like, possibly leading to sex. There's, like, sexual attraction here," rather than just, we're friends and I do this all the time and I'm getting kind of bored. So compliments are very important, okay? Then you might want to try some kind of like physical stuff. Like for example, if you guys are um going, like you're walking in like a crowded bar, you can kind of put your hand on her like waist or on her shoulder or something. Because this is like a socially acceptable touch, that she's not going to be like scared off by. Um you could like be like, when you get back from the bathroom, you can like put your hand on her elbow if you guys are like standing up or something. The socially acceptable kinds of like places to touch, like elbow, shoulder, back. Okay. Again, this is kind of like slowly working up the runway. Okay. So you got genuine conversation, you got a compliment, you got some socially acceptable touch. Okay. Then you keep having like your genuine conversation, like being genuinely interested in her and asking questions. Okay. Don't make the mistake that so many guys do of thinking, now I have to impress her. Now I have to prove myself. So why doesn't she interview me? And if anything you want to know, just ask and I'll mansplain and show off to you. No, you want to put attention on her, show genuine interest in her and her interests. Okay. And that's going to make her be like, oh, he's a cool guy. But then don't forget about this sexual thread that has to be running through. So maybe you want to find some excuse to like touch her hand or something. Like the classic one that guys love to do is like, oh, by the way, like, show me your hand for a second. I can read palms. Okay. Lots of girls know about this, but they kind of will be like, giving you that chance because they want you to be leading. They want you to be escalating if they like you, if you're passing their looks threshold. Um, you know what, guys? I actually took a video for you, which I'm gonna play for you of I don't know if any of you guys have been watching Bachelor in Paradise. Probably not. But the other day I was watching Bachelor in Paradise and I literally saw the most stunning example of game I've ever seen. And I'm just like, you guys are always asking me, show us an example of somebody who does it well, right? And I'm like, this guy fucking nailed it. Every single thing he said was like perfect. And by the end, I'm like, oh my God, this guy's like basically feeding her all the lines from a rom com. And by the end, she was like on cloud nine. She was like, I feel like I'm in a rom com. I'm like, I predicted this. So let me show you guys this video, all right? I didn't film the whole thing, but I filmed the first parts of it because they go on a one-on-one date and you will see how he handles it, okay? And you will see whether he compliments her or not. And you will see if a master of the female gaze compliments a woman or not. Contrary to what the red pillars say, right? All right, let me find this video for you guys. Just give me 1 second here. All right, here we go. Ah, darn it, I just missed it. So just give you a little context, guys. Bachelor in Paradise, like there's all these kind of leftovers from The Bachelor and the different seasons, and they all go on this beach in Mexico and they all started coupling off. So these two are going on their first date together. So watch how he handles it. And the first thing I want you to notice is that this guy has looks maxed. All right. But he doesn't stop there because a lot of guys on basically every single person on The Bachelor has looks maxed. All right. So this guy takes it to the next level. Wait, 1 second. Okay, here we go.
I am such a sign person. Like everything happens for a reason, and we saw a shooting star, which is actually crazy. I feel like that's the universe telling us something. Maybe who knows? Maybe. So I'm just really excited to see where the night takes us.
Okay, first thing she says on the way they're walking to the beach, she sees a shooting star. Being the female she is, she goes, "Oh, I think it's a sign, right?" Well, I don't believe in astrology and I don't believe in signs because I am logical and reasonable. That's like what a typical guy would probably want to say, right? Listen to what this guy says.
Here's to tonight. Definitely a new beginning for me. Like down here, round 2, Bachelor in Paradise. But starting off on the right foot with the best person. Aww, that was sweet.
Okay, first thing we could say he does right, okay? He doesn't say, like some other guys on the beach said, well, you're my, favorite person on the beach thus far. He literally tells her, you are the best person. Did you hear what he said? He's like, starting off the night with the best person. This is like music to the ears of the female gaze, okay? If you've seen my 10 female gaze principles, all right, you will see that the number one principle in the female gaze is they want to be the best, okay, of all the women in the world. And to men, that's like, that's crazy because there's supermodels out there. There's Adriana Lima and whatever, like whoever you love, okay? But the woman you're with wants to be the best. So he knows that and he tells her that. You are. David, please don't joke like that. All right. Beardo is trying to joke.
You know what? This night could not be any better. Yeah?
I saw a shooting star.
Okay, then he just goes, this night could not be any better. We saw a shooting star. Oh my God. Another principle of the female gaze, which I've told you guys about, which is the principle of karmic lust. The kind of like spiritual, like BS element, like we're fated to be together. It's in the stars. Like there's a sign, like God wanted us to be together, that kind of like mystical element. So he plays up on that. He's like, we saw a shooting star, like obviously we're meant to be, okay?
That doesn't just happen. No, that's actually crazy. That was nuts. I think it might be a sign. It might be a sign. Never know. I mean, you're having a great time so far, yeah? Feel good being back in paradise? I feel great. Yeah? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Came down, I was like, I hope I see Mercedes there. And I did see Mercedes, so that's good. And here we are. And here we are, yeah.
Another masterful thing to say. Okay, that's like the perfect thing you could say on The Bachelor. Not that you came on the beach for, popularity, social media followers, to become an influencer, but that you specifically saw her and you came on the show to fight for her and to woo her and to get her. Again, that is the female gaze in a nutshell. I saw you. There was something special about you. There was something about you. And that's why I'm diving in, pursuing you. Now, that's not the only aspect of the female gaze, but it's a very attractive quality, okay?
Works out, so I'm glad you're here. Yeah. So what about you? Okay, so you came to paradise.
Okay, so then they start going into the question part. That's kind of what I was telling you to do before. You got to kind of contrast the you're beautiful, you're the best with just like normal getting to know you. So
honestly, I saw Zach's season. Did you? And I did, and yeah, I thought you were gorgeous, and I was just like, I love.
Oh, there you go, guys. He gave her a compliment. I thought you were gorgeous. That's what I've been telling you guys to say. Am I crazy here? I've been telling you guys, say gorgeous, say stunning, say beautiful, and you just want to be like, you don't want to reveal that you think that. So many guys make that mistake. They're scared that if they say that the woman is beautiful, she'll like realize that, you're so beneath them. Okay, but that's not how it's going to work. Especially if you say it like he did. Did you see how he kind of said it confident? He's like, oh, of course you're gorgeous. And then he moved on. He wasn't like simping like, my lady, your gorgeous baubles or whatever. So.
Meet her, she's down there. So, yeah. I'm having such a good time with Tyler. He's just really sweet and.
Okay, that last thing, that was a genuine smile for those of you guys who can't tell genuine smiles. Anyway, the guy just goes on. Masterful. You should check it out. That's Joey, I believe his name is. Yeah. And wait, am I just thinking his name is Joey because like he's Italian or something? Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, latest episode of Bachelor in Paradise. So NB says It doesn't matter what he says. He's confident, masculine, and well-groomed. She was feeling him as soon as she saw him. The words didn't cause that. Well, NB, I can see how you think that, but you have to understand, okay? This is Bachelor in Paradise. Literally every single guy on the beach has like a 12 pack, okay? They're all like trainers and models. And yet she already had rejected, you know, at least one other guy. So that guy was confident, masculine, and well groomed. So why didn't she just go with any guy on the beach who's confident, masculine, and well groomed? Okay. Yes, I'm not saying I don't agree with you that it's very important to look good. I've been telling you guys that literally nonstop. Okay. But once you look good, I'm trying to tell you how to understand women, how to speak to women, what the female gaze is, what to say that is music to a woman's ears. Okay. Now, if you just want to look good, NB, if you just want to look smash to the point where you look good and stop there, and say very like ignorant and obnoxious things to women, yes, they might overlook that because you look good. Okay. They also might not because they have a lot of options who look good. They're choosing among a lot of guys who look good. However, you'll be in the running and they might ignore the fact that you say like obnoxious things and you don't understand what they want. They might just be like, I don't fucking care because he looks so good. But I'm trying to take you one step further and teach you about the common mistakes that most guys make. And guys like that guy, who's a master of the female gaze, would never make in a million years. Okay? So hopefully you understand that. Jan Van Ardone says, being a cheesy slimeball? No thanks. Facepalm react, but let's move on. This only works on these types of women. Not my type. Being kind and authentic does work on a smart woman with the personality if she's attracted to you. Okay, Jan, I promised Jimmy Dare I would do some truth bombs tonight, so I have to say, this is just such a massive cope, in my opinion. All right? This guy was not a cheesy slimeball. Like, you saying that means that you don't understand what women expect on dates. This guy did everything right that makes a woman feel comfortable, confident, feminine, respected, having fun on a date. He does not come off as a cheesy slimeball whatsoever. He comes off as someone who's polite, who is making her feel desired, who is making her feel, like a woman. So for you to just say no thanks is like completely crazy to me. This only works on these types of women. Like, I don't know if you watched the same clip I did, but him saying that he's having a great time tonight, she looks gorgeous, that she's the best, that he's there for her. I mean, that's what I heard. And one, that works on every woman. That doesn't just work on like a dumb woman, because you said like it wouldn't work on a smart woman. No, it would work on a smart woman because that's what smart women want to feel as well. That's the female gaze. That's what I try to teach you guys on this channel. And it's like very triggering to you or something because I have no idea why you would be kind of like, oh, this only works on these types of women. She's not your type. Why? Because she likes being told she's gorgeous? Yeah, newsflash, every single woman likes being told that. So I don't know what kind of woman you're hoping to find who likes being told she's ugly, who doesn't need to be told she's gorgeous. Being kind and authentic. All right, well, he was definitely being kind. Whether he was being authentic is somewhat debatable, okay? I can't tell if he's just like brainwashed himself into the female gaze or he's so good at it, he's kind of like self-reinforcing, or if he is just a master and feeding her exactly what she wants to hear and it's kind of more sinister. But does it work on smart women with the personality? Absolutely. Absolutely. So I have to just give you a hard disagree. Just stamp hard disagree. Tyke Smith says, if she says he's sweet, is that not a red flag? It's friend zone energy. No, Tyke Smith, it is not. Okay, you have to read like body language here. Okay, a woman could just be like, oh, you're sweet, and be kind of like distancing, like stay, like you're sweet, but like stay away. Or she could just be like beaming with like an impossible to miss genuine smile that just goes throughout her whole face, like you guys hopefully saw. Okay. And if a girl's smiling like that crazy, and I shouldn't tell you guys this because a lot of you can't tell a fake smile from a real smile, but if it's genuine, if it's that deeply genuine, there's kind of no way she's not gonna be primed to feel some type of way about the guy. So no, don't, Ty, I hope this doesn't insult you, but it's like, don't be a robot where it's like, sweet. If somebody says sweet, that means they are not attracted to you. Please, like, put things in context. That was definitely not friend zone energy. No fucking way. So then, Jan says, I have no problem dating women. I am going to have to call BS on that, Jan, because that was just such a profound lack of understanding. No cope at all. I only give a compliment when I really mean it. Okay. I don't know what to say. Works very well. Okay. It's not game but truth. Okay. Sure. I'm not telling you guys to BS, but I am telling you, if you never give girls compliments, because you're only giving it when you... I don't know how rare this is. All right. Let's just say you do you. If it's working for you, keep doing it. And it's good that you're honest. However, from what you said before, I have some reservations. So, okay. So Dickie Mo says, not in a position to date / talk to girls, not right financially / mentally, debt and lost my car, I'm avoiding a certain girl. If she asks why I haven't been around, how can I explain without revealing the truth? Okay. First of all, if you're in debt and you lost your car and you're not right financially, you can still talk to girls. Okay. Girls date guys who are in massive debt, have no car, and have no money all the time. Like, basically every stripper is dating a guy like that. So please don't think that you have to like have your shit together, be rich, and be like completely confident at all times. Like, you can just be like, if she asks why you haven't been around, be like, oh my God, like I've been going through a lot, but like I miss you. I miss your beautiful face. I miss your like gorgeous body. I don't know what like level you're at with this girl, but you could just be like, I'd love to take you out, but I'm like really strapped for cash right now. That's the only reason I haven't asked you out. Okay? And then if she really likes you, she'll be like, "Oh, that's okay. Like, why don't we just meet up at the park or something like that?" Okay? But please Get rid of this idea that women don't date guys who are in debt and have no car. When I met David Beardo, he had no car. Okay? If the girl likes you enough and if you're good in bed, she's going to take that option. Okay? So please remember that. Superstar says, I heard an ex-stripper say you're supposed to wear sweatpants when getting a lap dance. Is that a real thing? I mean, that's what guys want to do so they can feel the lap dance more. A lot of strip clubs do not allow guys to wear sweatpants for that reason, but some do. And a lot of strippers hate it when guys wear sweatpants because, you can like feel everything a lot more. But some strippers like don't mind. And yeah, you can definitely feel more, that's for sure. But it's not allowed in a lot of places. So, JD Vert, thank you so much for super chat. He says, was at a local bar, the bartender, a woman, told me that many of the girls here like you. I said, really? She said, you didn't notice their nervousness? Wow, JD. I assume you're probably a good-looking guy, so that's wonderful for you. Um, Nervousness, yeah, it can be a sign that they like you, but I try to get you guys away from this kind of like, let's go back to the title of video, the fear of making a wrong move, asking a girl out who doesn't like you, who isn't into you, and falling headlong into the abyss, the chasm of creepiness, invading her personal space, and her being like, ew, you're creepy and you're ugly. Okay? You're so afraid of that you just gave up your chance at having like a masculine attractive attitude. Because I got to give Jimmy Dare a truth bomb here. And I don't want to do it. I really don't want to do it. But I have to do it, okay? How do I say this to you, JD Vert? Because you did tip me, and I appreciate that so much. So please know, I am only doing this because I have to give you guys the truth. Because what am I here for if not to give you the truth? I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to BS. So if you knew just how beta, weak, and pathetic this attitude seems to a woman, you would like run screaming. Okay? Trust me on that. Okay? When a guy is saying, like, it literally reminds me of this TikTok I saw where the girl's like, how men be nowadays. And it's like, she's taking him on a luxury shopping trip. She's proposing and giving him a ring. He's jumping on her waist and he's like 6'5" and she's like 5'2" and she's like crumpling under and he's just holding her and like screaming and crying. Okay, you seem like a girl and the girl is repulsed. Okay, she's like, ew, get away from me. Okay, this is what she thinks when she hears this kind of like feminine mentality. Okay, and I really hate saying this, but like, this is the truth. This is how I used to think. Okay, and I'm like, so basically, you don't want to have this attitude of, does any girl like me? Because I'm too scared to get rejected. Like, you seem like a cowering weakling to a woman when you have this attitude. And trust me, I know it's not you, just you, JD. And that's why I named this video the chasm of creepiness. Because I feel like it's this abyss, this fear this terrifying terror of being creepy, of making a wrong move, of being an abuser, of being a violator, which is a wonderful impulse, okay? But it's making you look not like a man, okay? On the one side of the abyss are where all the assholes and all the chads are living it up with their babes on the beach, okay? That's what it seems like. And then on the one side, with the nice guy side, with everyone peering over the edge into the vast darkness below, are all the guys who are looking for the green light and who are too scared to make a move. So they're looking for the girl to give them a sign. And they're reading the signs and signals, and they're reading the tea leaves and the bird omens and saying, oh, does she like me? Does she look at me? Okay. The masculine attitude is for you guys to be like, there's a hot girl in here. If you want to put it in the female gaze terminology, there's a girl who looks really interesting and has really great energy. There's a girl who looks like a goddess walking on the face of this earth, and she's got a great body too. Okay, that's like a good female gaze combo of both kind of like the spiritual and the physical. And you think, I'm a man, I have the male instincts inside of me to be the leader, to be the aggressor, to be the pursuer. Let me shoot my shot. Let me put myself in the running. Let me not count myself out. Okay, let me go up and talk to her, because even if she rejects me, no guts, no glory. Okay, that's how women want you to think, and that's how women expect you to think. Okay, and that's how women assume you are thinking, which is what's crazy. All right, because that's not how you guys are thinking. But they assume that. Okay, so if you're not doing that, they're kind of like, what's that guy's defect? I don't know if he just didn't grow up into a man right. I don't know if he's got some like serious anxiety disorder, but he's hot and he's a man. So why doesn't he have the masculine instincts that I assume he should have? Why can't he just go up and talk to me? Guys are used to getting rejected, right? Because they're strong, they're powerful, they're masculine. They have like that cold ability that like we as women don't have. So if he liked me, he would come up and talk to me. If he wanted to, he would. Have you heard guys say that? Girls say that if he wanted to, he would? And that's what they mean, guys. Because their reasoning is, and every girl kind of like knows this because they got a big blind spot here, and they assume men are men. Men are not like women. When a man wants something, he goes after it. So if a man wanted me, nothing on planet Earth would or could stop him. And if he doesn't, then he must not be attracted to me, or I'm not his type. And never in a million years would it cross their mind that you're not acting flirtatious enough. You're not signaling to me that you're ready to fuck. Okay? Because they're not even thinking about fucking like that. They're thinking about the female gaze. They're thinking about being seduced and then kind of like slowly drawn towards the ultimate climax, which is fucking. Okay? Whereas you guys are like, who wants to fuck right now? If you want to fuck, raise your hand. Give me a big green flashing light. Say, put a sign that says slut on your forehead. Say, no, even better, virgin slut. That's what you guys want, which is absolutely absurd and ridiculous, but that's a truth bomb for another time. Okay? Anyway. So, JD, let's see what you think. Was I too harsh? Was I cruel? Do you hate me now? Let's see. JD says, I get what you're saying. I think my thing is I'm bad at reading body language. That's why I want you to just fuck body language. Forget body language, JD, okay? Forget it. Use your eye language. Men are so visual, right? Allegedly. Well, if you see a girl you like, start talking to her. Be like, hey, I'm JD. That's like, I love your hair. Okay, that's what guys who tell me a lot. Your hair is so gorgeous. Okay? I love your style. I always tell you guys that one these days. I like your earrings. You've got an amazing energy. There's something about you. You remind me of Nicole Kidman. Make a celebrity comparison. People love that. You know? Are you an actress? Because I feel like you give off that vibe. You're giving actress, whatever people are saying these days, okay? These are good things. This is what I used to use at the strip club a lot. I would kind of just guess people's profession because people like to be told about themselves. And it was good practice for me, like reading people, you know? Say, oh, you look like this celebrity. And they'd be like, oh, really? Or you look like you're a lawyer. You have like a really intelligent look in your eye. You want to give a perceptive compliment, okay? That's a good way to start things. There's other ways too, but you basically just want to get the ball rolling. You could just be like, "Hey, I'm JD. Can I buy you a drink? You're so gorgeous. Where are you from?" Perfect. Okay, that's all it takes. That's all they need. If they're interested, they'll be like, "Yeah, you can buy me a drink." And they'll talk to you for a little bit. You have a chance to talk to them. All right. So forget body language. You can't read it. You know, none of you guys are very good at it, in my opinion, because you don't understand the female gaze. That's what I'm trying to teach you. Okay? Because it's like your assumptions are off because you haven't understood the basics of the female gaze yet and how it differs from the male gaze, how female sexuality differs from male sexuality, in other words. So, all right, so let's read some of these comments, guys. Nagoyan says, love the title for the video. Are you asking guys that, or should guys ask their girls that? I'm asking you guys that. I'm asking you guys about the chasm of creepiness, and do you feel it? Do you feel the terror of being creepy? And do you feel it controls you from being that guy who escalates and asks girls out? So then the dude says, while reading it, I felt mode 2 described me very well. Now the book tells us to be extremely direct, honest about our desires. It's shocking, to be honest. Yeah, this dude, mode 2 works, okay? That's what I'm pretty much telling you guys to be on this channel, mode 2. I forget exactly what the definition of mode 2 is. Like, hopefully there's no lying, right? But it's just like you kind of just, you're not straight up like, let's fuck. Mode 1 requires, I think, requires like a good knowledge of fantasies, the ability to dirty talk well. But yeah, I guess he's just saying like, well, if a guy's just straight up honest, like, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Try it. Try it out. And if you don't like it, go back to mode 2, you know? I'm not saying mode 1 won't work, but it's an interesting approach. I'm not saying mode 1 will always work. I'm saying it has pros and cons, and you can choose that approach if you want. Would mode 1 work on me? Many guys have tried it on me because even Alan Roger Curry himself tried it on me. Did it work on me? No. Has it ever worked on me? Well, it's like I've gotten turned on by guys dirty talking, but I don't think it ever like, I don't know. It might have worked like one time in my whole life, but I had to think about that. Hard to remember a specific time. But yeah, I mean, a lot of guys, they tried to do mode 1 on me, writing me these really dirty emails, and I was just like, no. So anyway. Rodney Rose says, hey Vic, bad news. I think I waited too long. She has a boyfriend now. Maybe. Good news. I talked to a girl and got her number. Rodney, I am so very, very proud of you. I am so happy. I'm sending you a heart emoji. And I'm going to send you a 100% emoji as well. And a congratulations emoji. That is absolutely amazing. You got rejected, kind of. I mean, she has a boyfriend, so is that really a rejection? I mean, she can't really do anything about that. And you could talk to a new girl and got her number. That's fucking incredible. I'm very happy for you. So promoting masculinity says, guys, when you approach a woman, do it from a place of curiosity. There's worse things than being rejected. All right. Elaborate more on a place of curiosity. Does that mean like being curious about who she is? Because yeah, that's a female gaze given. Like they're thinking that you should be curious about them, but I guess a lot of times you're not curious about them because you're just hoping to like get the number and have sex. But yeah, I mean that's kind of like a given, or should be a given. And so Nguyen says, I think partly a lot of men have childhood trauma from abuse that makes us try to be better than that. That's a really interesting point, Nguyen. Makes a lot of sense, in my opinion, and it's very interesting. And, I kind of know what you mean. Like maybe they saw their father like abusing their mother or something, and they're like, the last thing I want to do is be like him. Or maybe their father was like abusing them. And so they're just like, I don't want to be like him. And I think that's amazing. But yeah, maybe it can kind of like blur the lines because you're like, well, it's kind of, I'm either like my dad, an abuser, or I'm a nice guy. There's nothing in between. But there is something in between, you know? So Soapstar says, that's interesting. She was almost angry that so many guys didn't understand that it was more difficult to get them off if they didn't wear sweatpants. But she was working in the 70s, different times. Yeah. I mean, most strippers don't want to get a guy off in a lap dance. That's kind of like their nightmare because they don't want the cum getting on them. Like, they want that safely hidden away. So yeah, it's not like they want the guy to come. Plus, if the guy did, he would just run out and leave, and she would stop making money because he would stop buying dances. So yeah. JD Vert says, I get what you're saying. Oh yeah, we got read that. So then, and Nguyen says, and maybe we don't know that what we call abuse is actually already better and very mild compared to what we experienced and are trying to be better than. Yeah, 100%, Nguyen, that's what I'm saying. And trust me, guys, I think what you're missing is it's not abuse because it's like you guys think that women want enthusiastic verbal consent. The green light is their consent. Therefore, if I get in her space without consent by trying some kind of escalation thing, like I described earlier on this call, like giving her a compliment about how she looks, touching her hand, touching her elbow in the socially appropriate ways I've described, yeah, you're getting in her space, but you're not violating her space. Do you know what I'm saying? And you're not abusing her at all, but you are escalating. And if you assume that you have to have a flashing green light, i.e., 100% enthusiastic verbal consent, to even hold her hand or, read her palm, and you define that as abuse, then yeah, you're going to feel like an abuser, but all you're doing is doing these socially appropriate and expected things that girls expect on dates. Okay. And then if you go too far and she's like, I'm not comfortable with that, or looks uncomfortable, you can just be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, my bad. I told this to a guy was talking to last night who was really inspired this call, really, and a lot of his ideas, what we were talking about together, really made me start thinking about this. Okay. But and I told him to say this, is you can just say, you know, I would never want to do anything you're not comfortable with. And like, I'm so sorry. And then just go back to the things that she was comfortable with. Okay, you don't have to freak out and be like, "Oh, I'm an abuser." Do you know what I'm saying? So, anyway. So Dickie Mo says, "That's the best thing I've heard all day. In a woman's mind, she thinks when a man wants something, he takes it, so he must not be interested in me." 100% Dickie Mo. That is what women think. That is their blind spot. That is their hypermasculine projection. That is their assumption. But yeah, that's what they think. Evan Wells 1 says, "You're right about all of this. No objections. However, let's say I do just want a fling. She's not my all kind of material. It seems like I'm going to have to be disingenuous to some extent with compliments." Okay, Evan Wells 1, this is a great question, but I disagree. But I think this is a skill that you guys need to work on a lot, okay? Where you're basically saying that unless she was your all kind of material, unless she's a 10 or whatever, you couldn't find a way to compliment her. I mean, this is literally one of the worst attitudes I feel like guys have that honestly, in my opinion, greatly holds him back. Okay. And greatly grates on women and greatly just does not, it's almost like you shall not enter the gates of the female gaze if you have this attitude, Evan Wells, because there's no way you're getting in. I mean, yeah, maybe you'll get in, but it's like no woman will like you. No woman will accept you because you guys, like, this is what I have to do with my rejection club. I'm like, we would all be in Walmart where we used to meet sometimes because there was a lot of people there when I lived in Las Vegas. And it was a good place to meet and just do like rejection challenges because it was so big and there were so many people. And I would tell the guys, all right, find a girl and give her a compliment. And they would come back and they're like, well, I could only find one girl. She was 14 years old. She was with her mom. And I complimented her and she was like, I'm 14. And then I looked around all of Walmart and there was not one other girl who met my standards and I'm attracted to. I'm like, so the only girl who you found attractive in all of Walmart was a child wearing a sundress and pigtails and a lollipop, basically. I'm like, internally, I'm like seething. I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. So then I would just like go around. I'm like, guys, it doesn't matter if you're attracted to them. Look, I want you to go around to every single woman and give them some kind of compliment. Find one thing that you can say is attractive about them, or not even attractive, but just something you want to appreciate about them or compliment about them. Okay. And at first it was like really hard for them, but then like they started warming up to it. And, you know, I like your scarf. And hey, like, that's a cool hat. I like, you know, your shoes, whatever it is. You seem like a cool woman. You seem like an okay, nobody said that, but I'm just trying to think of some other things you could say, okay? Do you guys get what I'm saying? It is not hard. Do you like women or not? Can you find one thing to compliment about a woman who isn't your ideal, who isn't your type, who isn't a perfect 10, who isn't a supermodel, who isn't a child, who isn't a airbrushed AI? Can you find one thing you like about women to compliment? Like, it should not be this hard. As I say to you guys, please find the 10 in the 1, find the 10 in the 2, find the 10 in the 3, find the 10 in the 4, find the 10 in the 5, find the 10 in the 6, find the 10 in the 7, find the 10 in the 8, find the 10 in the 9, and find the 10 in the 10. If you can do that, you will have entered into the female gaze, okay? But as long as you guys say, well, she's not a 10, so what do I have to compliment her for? Like, you look like a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. And you look mean. I always tell you guys, my boyfriend loves complimenting grandmas, and I'm fucking like here for it because I'm like, I love that about him. He actually appreciates women of all shapes, sizes, ages. Be that way, please. For the love of God. Okay? Because a woman can never respect a guy who isn't like that. Like, truth bomb for you. I'm sorry. Like, it's true. I can't respect it. I respect you. But I don't respect that attitude. That's why I want you to just consider a different attitude. Just consider it. All right. So, all right, let's go on to the next question. And let me know your thoughts on that. Evan Wells, hopefully I didn't crush you. Hopefully he hasn't unsubscribed now. Because I don't mean to say I don't respect you, Evan Wells, but it's like so many guys with this attitude, and I'm like, how's that going to work? Restaurant P says, Victoria, please, this. A straight woman who is in a relationship fantasizes about having sex with another woman and wants her male partner to watch them but not participate. What is she feeling? Restaurant P, you always ask such great questions. Well, okay. I can't fully comment on this because, some straight women have like, they're not that straight. They're bi. They might be like lesbian, you know what I'm saying? But they think they're straight. So when she fantasizes about having sex with another woman and wants her male partner to watch them, I'm not really sure because I'm just not that bi, even though I have had like a lot of experiences, maybe not a lot by some people's standards, but a couple, um, of very well, actually more than a couple. I'm going to say a lot because it's probably a lot more than most people. I have had a lot of experiences with women, but it's just not like I don't feel I'm like wanting to be a lesbian or wanting to be bi even. However, so for me, it might take on like a different kind of like I might have a different reason, which isn't just about the woman. Do you know what I'm saying? But like one reason I would think it's hot is because it's like, you know, the guy is like going crazy for it because this is just like so many so many guys, like number one fantasy. Do you know what I'm saying? Or one of their top fantasies to see like two women together. So that it's like a really hot experience because one, you're doing something kind of like taboo or like illicit. And three, the guy is like going crazy and he just like is like filled with desire for you both and he like wants it so bad and he's just sitting there watching kind of like the girl show. That's kind of another part of it too, is like you just know that it's really hot. It's a really like a huge tease. It's really like tantalizing him. So you kind of like got this power feeling where it's like you're working him up to a frenzy and he wants you so bad. I mean, like it kind of reminded me that when I wanted to be a stripper, I went to a strip club to check it out and I saw these two girls on stage and they were doing like this girl show where they were just basically pretending to make out and like dance with each other and stuff. And when I saw that, I just felt like I could do this so well. Like I could do this so good because certain people just have like a really big I didn't really feel like it's exhibitionist is the right word, but it's like you just feel like you know how to wrap guys around your finger, you know how to tempt guys, you know how to tease guys, you know how to work guys, and you enjoy doing that. Okay, that's the kind of person who like wants to become a stripper. And a lot of girls do want to become a stripper because it's like a part of our sexuality to kind of like enjoy our sexual power over a guy. So this is one way you really have like a lot of sexual power over the guy because you're basically tempting him with a fantasy that he can, you know, it's a very rare experience like you're gifting him. So hopefully that explains some of restaurants in peace, but like, for some girls who actually have like secret lesbian fantasies, they might just find something about the woman more is the appealing part of that fantasy. But for a girl who's more straight, I think what I described is a big part of it. So now I think I got a super chat from it looks like Nani's. Yes, Nani. Welcome. Thank you so much for your super chat, Nani. And he says, damn right, Vic. Damn right. I agree. You have to learn how to wear the female gaze goggles. Yes, exactly. The female gaze goggles, guys. Put them on. Put the female gaze goggles on. Nani, I think you were like born with some of the female gaze goggles, but not completely probably. But, or maybe you just put them on. Maybe you just like built the goggles and put them on later in life. What do you think? Do you think you kind of like had some natural instinct for the female gaze, or did you have to learn it all? I'm curious. Um, but yeah, like, and I want to ask you, Nani, once you put the female gaze goggles on, what did you find? What did you see? Were there any things where you're like, oh God, I just didn't get this before, or wow, I was seeing so distorted before. I don't know. It's kind of a vague question, but I'm curious. What was your experience like? And thank you so much for your super chat and your support. Um, so this dude says, ha ha ha, Alan tried it on you. That's crazy. Yes, he did. And I've told that story before on one of my lives, but yep, I've got all the screenshots. When we were in a fight, I kind of wanted to release them, but I didn't want to do that. I'm glad I didn't. But yeah, I mean, he lived mode one, and we like basically what happened is um he saw my video where I mentioned mode one, and that was making his book go on the bestseller list. Somebody sent him my video. So he messaged me on Facebook and he was like, you know, like, thank you so much. And I want to give you a call. What's your number? And I really like the book, so I was kind of flattered. I'm like, okay, this is kind of odd, but like, why not? So I gave him my number and we got on the phone and he immediately starts trying mode one on me. Literally, like he probably like timed it because I guess to be mode one, it has to be like 1 minute or less or something like that. And then mode one hardcore is like 30 seconds or less. So yeah, he tried mode one on me, but I had just gotten together with my boyfriend, so I kind of told him like I can't like dirty talk with you, but I definitely want to hear some of your stories and everything. So I think I ended up kind of like flattering him enough that like he stayed on the phone with me and he started telling me all about his stories of like really crazy stuff, like all the times he just domed all these women at like these conferences and retreats at hotels and parking lots. And I was just kind of like laughing and egging him on, just like, oh my God, it's so crazy. Like, tell me more. And yeah, but then it got a little weird. Okay, maybe that's a story for another time. He started getting like really angry and he became like angry Dom. And I've got a lot more to say about that, but let's get to your questions. So Ty Smith says, so Victoria, what had a higher hit rate on you, mode 1 or mode 2 or something else? Well, you have to remind me of the technical definition of mode 2 because when he was alive, he got really mad at me because I didn't get the definition of mode 1 perfectly. Okay, but I'm thinking mode 2. So Evie says, Victoria, I'm a dom with 3 submissives at the moment. However, deep down, I've always had the fantasy of being seduced by an older woman of authority, a private tutor in particular. Now, I don't know how to get that fantasy of mine fulfilled since I am so used to being dominant. Maybe you could hire a legal sex worker. Maybe you could hire a dominatrix to give you that fantasy. That's what I would do. I mean, it's really hard to get like female dominance for free, but you could try like kind of networking on FetLife or your local kink community. But why not hire someone? I think it's hot. Smart Water says, you're dropping gems of knowledge. Thanks, Smart Water. Natal Doe says, I'm so excited to see you back. One of the hidden gems of YouTube. Thank you, Natal Doe. That's very nice of you to say. We are all being watched. It's so important to make theater and play differing but corresponding with the real. Being able to play is very important for people. Society is artistically and experientially cowardly after. What is GWOT? But yeah, I agree with you. I agree. Play is so important, and kink and like sex is a way we can play as adults. Andrew says, I get it. Thank you, Andrew. Andrew says you have to find a BDSM community with a mix of people and connect with someone there who wants to play at that fantasy with you. Exactly. Yeah, I agree. H says, do all women like a guy who likes all women, or does that come off as desperate to some? Well, it depends, how you do it. Are you commenting on every single woman you know's with these really like simpy comments about like their body? Because that will kind of come off as desperate. But if you're just commenting like messages of support to women in your life in kind of a female gaze way, like not just nice boobs or you have a great body, I would love to kiss it, or, like on their posts about their hiking trip or whatever, then yeah, they're gonna like it if you're just like supportive and complimentary and like, gosh, you're gorgeous, or you're so, you look so good. Just kind of like these supportive comments, but you just don't want to take it too far to the point where you're just like, the desperation to like suck nipples is like dripping off you and they can sense it. You know what I'm saying? So Superstar says one of the hosts of the world's biggest TV show talked about how he never gets a compliment because everyone thinks he already knows he's good. He almost teared up at the thought. Oh, wow. That's crazy. It's kind of hard to believe, but wow. That's interesting. Who was that? Andrew says, even if he unsubscribes, the other guys that appreciate truth will be bigger for him. So, okay. Yep, that's very good perspective. That's what I guess I should think, yeah. Smart Water says, so women like it when guys have stars in their eyes when they see them. Yeah, but guys, be careful because you got to do it in a kind of calm, confident way. All right? So guys can just get this one so wrong. So give me an example of what you would say and I'll tell you. Not like that, or yeah. You don't have to have stars in your eyes, but you just want to be like supportive, be like have this attitude of like I'll look horrible in the morning. Like, I'll come down and I'll just be, like, feeling like, "What?" And then my boyfriend will just be like, "You look so good, baby. Like, you're so gorgeous. You have such natural beauty." Like, he's just always really, like, supportive. So you don't have to take it to that level because, if it's not your girlfriend, but you can just be like, kind of always showing girls, like, you're attractive, like, you're good, but in kind of a supportive way. You know what I mean? As opposed to the opposite. Well, we both know you're not a 10, so why would I ever be attracted to you? Because I'm looking for someone who will validate me in the eyes of other guys and make guys say, oh, you're a real man because you can get this girl. The attitude is unattractive, in my opinion. Whatever. What am I saying, guys? Nani says, I had to learn it with a couple of truth bombs here and there. And by that, I believe you mean the female gaze. I found out what role I should play in the tango dance with the genders. Well said, Nani. I feel like that's so key, is that a lot of guys don't know. You just have to take on like one specific role and one role only. And then you can enter the dance. But you got to be in that masculine role in order to get a girl to dance with you. So, yeah. Evan Wells says, agree with you. Have no trouble complimenting. All I'm saying is your primary emphasis is like you are the very best kind. Okay. Kind of compliments. Faded lust. If those are the winning options, we may lie. All right. Okay. I understand what you're saying, Evan Wells, and I kind of went on a rant without fully understanding what you were saying. But what you're saying is to just feed them peak female gaze. If you just like really told them what they wanted to hear, I agree. You can't do that with everyone, okay? Because you can't say, I don't know, can you? You probably not. I mean, ideally, it's for a girl you're really into, and at that moment in time, you really do feel she is the best. And you really can say, it's almost as if our love story was like written in the stars. You don't have to say, I truly believe in astrology and that, our love story is written in the stars, but you can just kind of make allusions to that, like it's like we're tied together by, the red string of fate or whatever, like that Chinese quote is. But I see what you're saying, everyone else. But yeah, you want to give compliments, but you don't have to. You can just save the big hitters for when you really mean them, hopefully. Or not. You can manipulate, but please. I hope you don't do it, but I couldn't stop you. Anyway, guys, I'm fading so fast. I'm tiring because I just yeah. Well, guys, you guys are awesome. I'm so tired, but thank you for staying with me through my harsh, cruel, but honest truth bombs. And thank you because sometimes I took it out on the wrong people because I didn't even fully understand what you're saying and I just truth bombed you hard. Hopefully you survived, but hopefully you realize this doesn't even relate to what I meant and just take it as a separate lesson, but um you guys are awesome. You're so good. You're amazing. You're the best. Uh wait, darn JD Vert, damn miss my super chat. No, that is not acceptable, JD. I will not miss your super chat. What? How did I miss this? I'm so sorry. And thank you so much for texting me because I would literally be hating myself if I missed your super chat because that means a lot. So let me go back and read your super chat, JD. Here it is. How did I miss that? Okay. He says, also, I was dancing with a few girls. One girl and her friend were by my truck, and it felt like one wanted to fuck. I could not pull the trigger. Friend. Okay, JD. Now, all right, JD, it's a learning experience. All right, here's what you want to do for next time. Okay, you have to make up some excuse. And it's not going to be a lie because she's going to know it's an excuse. Okay? It's kind of like a secret language between the two of you for her to come over to your house. Okay. So you guys are sitting by the truck. You felt like the one wanted to have sex. So here's what I would have done. Okay. Maybe like, hey, can I give you guys a ride home? Then you drop off the friend first. Or maybe they had cars. Okay. So maybe this isn't the perfect thing, but like, let's just go with it. So, you say like, "Hey, can I give you guys a ride? You seem really like drunk. You could pick up your cars tomorrow or whatever." So you give her the friend a ride first, and then you could say to the other girl, "Hey, do you mind if we like stop by my place real quick? I wanted to get my laptop. I don't know, make up some excuse, something you need from home, some reason you have to stay at home." Okay? Maybe it could be like, "Hey, do you want to like come in real quick and like use the bathroom, or do you want to like have a drink, another drink before I take you home?" Okay, something like that. Some excuse to go by your house. Okay. And then when you get in there, you'd be like, "Hey, do you want a glass of wine?" Okay. Then you like sit down on the couch. She sits down on the couch. You're talking, you're drinking, you're laughing. You sit closer to her on the couch. Maybe perfect. Now we have phones. Be like, "I want to show you something on my phone. Like, look at this TikTok." Okay. And you get real close to her and you show it to her on her phone. So now you're like right next to each other. Then you can kind of like touch hands, do the old brushing hair behind the ear, look into her eyes, and kiss her. Okay. If she wants to fuck, then you're just gonna keep making out. Then you can like take her hand, go into the bedroom, okay, sit down in the bed, continue making out, and things are just gonna progress naturally at her pace from there. Okay. But that's what you have to do. Okay. So, JD, let me know what you think because if she wants to fuck, she is waiting for you to give her an excuse to be able to fuck you. Because I've told you guys this so many times on my channel, but not all of you watch every live, which is a good thing because I wouldn't even want you to because it would be horrible, like waste your time. But I like doing them, and if you do, who knows? Maybe you'd really let the stuff sink in. But point being, okay, what was I even saying? Oh God, guys, my mind. The other day, I went to an art class and we had to go around and introduce ourselves. And my mind totally blanked in front of everyone. I could not think of a single thing to say. I could barely think of my name. And like the harder I tried to like think, the more everything just clamped down. It was so embarrassing. Anyway, so Now I'm asking, like, where was I even going with this? All right, guys, let me know where I was going with that. If you, oh yeah, now I remember. All right, thank you. So basically, the reason why the girl is waiting for you to come up with an excuse is because a girl cannot just walk up to a guy and say, "Hey, wanna fuck?" Okay. Yeah, I get it. If they actually did, you guys would probably be like, sure. Okay. Right now? Okay, but they don't know that. Refer to my video about the 5 blind spots, okay? Girls feel with a fiery, burning passion that they cannot tell a guy that they want to fuck. Why? Okay, let me explain this to you again. They feel that being sexually forward, sexually promiscuous, liking sex too much is not feminine. They feel that if they were to do that, you would not be attracted to them in the sense of wanting a relationship with them or liking them as a person. They would think he would consider me trash if I did that because all you red pill people out there talk about body count and how it lowers your SMV and all this BS nonstop. So a lot of girls fall for it. Okay. They're scared of being a slut. They think that guys don't want to take you home to their mom if you sleep with them too early. So when they do want to sleep with you, they want to feel like one thing led to another. The chemistry got so hot that it was just undeniable and it happened. They don't want to feel like I became a man, I was thinking with my dick, and I went up to a guy and said, "Hey, want to suck my dick?" That's basically how it feels to a girl, okay? They feel masculine. They feel unattractive. They feel not sexy. They feel like you're going to basically like spit in their face and be hard and have them be harshly rejected. And yeah, you'll sleep with them, but then after you're done, they'll like look at you like a cheap, dirty whore, basically. I'm telling you guys what's going on in girls' heads. That's why they don't do it. Okay. So that's why you need to say, come over to my house for this, you know, platonic reason. And then you need to let the chemistry build by sitting on the couch, getting close, making some social contact, and going up the runway. Do you guys get it? Is that helpful? Like, does that make sense? Let me know. So JD versus thanks could not figure out how to get rid of the friend. They came together. Okay, in their car. Well, you could also just ask her, "Hey, um, would you want to go get some food with me?" Or, "Hey, would you want to go get a drink with me at another location?" And then if she really wants to, she'll just tell her friend. And I did this like lots of times when I went out with my friends. I'd be like, "I'm gonna go with this guy." And my friend would be like, "Are you sure you're okay?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Like, that's what I want to do." So you need to just give her an excuse like, would you want to get a drink with me and stuff? And maybe the other friend wants to come too. So maybe you could ask them both. And they're like, "Oh, no, we're tired." And then you could just ask her, you know? So JD versus maybe I should ask both. I mean, it's better than doing nothing. So Sam says, well, here's something important to keep in mind. Attraction happens between the guy saying, "Hi, my name is, it's nice to meet you," and asking her out. The time in between is crucial. Um, I think it's very important as well, Sam. For sure. I agree. All right, guys. Well, JD, let me know. Did that make sense? And thanks again for your super chats, JD. And hopefully, this saves you for next time. I tried to give you like an in-depth understanding of what would be going through her head and what she would expect from you, would be in the range of acceptable behavior. So, Winstead says, you are awesome. Thank you so much, Winstead. Andrew says, fun Friday night. Thanks for the inspiration. Thank you so much, Andrew. And Tyke Smith says, thanks, Victoria. I missed the start. I'm going back to watch now. Thanks, Tyke. Andrew says, I think the truth bombs were well aimed. Thanks, Andrew. Smartwater says, do you like jewelry on men, ring, necklace, etc.? Personally, I don't. But, it can go with a look sometimes. Like, it depends what look you're going for. You know what I mean? If you're going for, like, spiritual new age guru, you might wear some jewelry. If you're going for, like, a rocker from the 70s, you might, like, wear some jewelry, But, personally, I like more on the masculine look as a look. So, wonderful. We are all being watched. Thanks for the great thoughts. They're just making Superstar feel seen. Wow. So Superstar, the guy from Top Gear. He wished someone would ruffle his hair and tell him good job sometimes, even though he's had hundreds of millions of years for 20 plus years. You want to feel appreciated. Wow, that's deep. That's really interesting. The need to feel appreciated, especially as a man, runs so deep. I've been talking about this with my male gaze coach, and he's been trying to help me understand just how deep the need runs. He actually gave me some homework to do. Watch this movie to understand this. And my male gaze coach, he's great, guys. Like, he's really filling in a lot of empty holes in my knowledge. Paul Kramer has a date on Sunday. Good luck, Paul. How are you feeling about that, if you're still here? If not. Spuzky says, what is the difference you have seen in behavior between men and women at a strip club? It's an interesting question. Like, first of all, women, a lot of times they come with their boyfriends or husbands. And, a lot of them, they feel unsettled. They feel like uneasy. And because they kind of feel like, the female gaze is basically to want to feel like you're the only one that a guy is attracted to. And so to kind of like face down and look at your boyfriend in the face as he's being attracted to so many other women, like right in front of your face, is hard. It's vulnerable. And, there's a lot of like fears and insecurities there. So I definitely like feel for that. It's not easy as a woman to be in this position. Okay. But as a woman, it's also like really interesting because it's like our whole lives we've basically been told the worst thing you can do is like dance on a pole. And that's like your dad's number one job is to keep you off the pole. And so then these women are like seeing these strippers, and the strippers are having a lot of fun because stripping is, or can be, I should say, really fun. Okay. You're on a stage, you're wearing beautiful clothes, like you're interacting with people. It's really social. You're dancing, like there's music. People are just obsessed and entranced and loving you. So like the women see that and they're kind of like a little spark in their eye a lot of times because they're like, "Oh, like I've been told this is bad." And for some women it can be like an extremely profound experience because you know, something very like special can happen at the strip club because certain strippers, they own their sexuality so much that you really see like the true essence of kind of like female sexual power. And so when other women see women owning their female sexual power and they see the beauty of it, it can kind of be like an awakening experience. Like I had a lot of girls who came to strip club talk to me and be like, I wish I could be like you. I wish I could be a stripper. And I would encourage them, like, do it. Because the thing is, I felt like it's a very important growth experience as a woman because it's like we're told so intensely, you know, if you have like someone wrote a comment to me today and he's like, as everyone knows, the higher your body count is as a woman, the more people you've had sex with, the lower your sexual value is in the sexual marketplace. And if a woman has had like more than 5 to 8 sexual partners, she is trash. Okay, first of all, it's fucking ridiculous. But I mean, this is like what all these people are saying out there, right? And women hear it. Okay, so do you know how much women have to turn down to only have 5 to 8 sexual partners in their lifetime? Like, do you know how many men are trying to have sex with them at all times? If they wanted to have sex with like, you know, 20 people a day for the rest of their life, it would be so easy. Okay. So they're turning down hot guys, they're turning down models, they're turning down movie stars, they're turning down athletes, they're turning down everyone, guys. So do you know how much like you have to repress your sexuality to only have sex with like 5 people? And yeah, women are thinking, I have to have sex with as little men as possible because I don't want to be a slut and I have to appear virginal and naive and weak and feminine. So when they see women just being like, it's okay to like sex, it's okay to own your sexuality, and when you do, it's beautiful, it's magical, and it's powerful, it's like really intense for them. So many of them told me like they want to be strippers. Okay. Then, there's another part of it, which is kind of like women supporting women. So a lot of times, like women at the strip club, they kind of go crazy because they're like, no, I'm going to be the kind of girl who supports women no matter like what their profession is. So they'll just be like, woo, and just going crazy, like screaming and cheering for you. And it can be kind of annoying, and a lot of strippers don't like it because it's like, okay, you're kind of overdoing the girl power here. Like, you don't need to make such a show of women supporting women. And a lot of times they just act like so into the pole tricks, like, yay, like you're strong and everything. And it's like, okay, it's not even about that. So it's a little like demeaning in a way. So that can be annoying to people. And then sometimes women will get in fights with their boyfriends a lot. And then another thing is that women, they can be like really grabby and kind of like, if they were a man, you would almost like consider them creepy because they can be like really sexually aggressive because they kind of have never had to have anyone say like back off. Like men, are constantly aware of not groping and grabbing women, but like women never are because I guess men are like usually happy to receive that kind of attention or whatever the reason is. But yeah, in the lap dances, they can be like really aggressive and it's kind of intense because you're like, well, I don't want to, I know this woman doesn't really know what she's doing, but like, this is really inappropriate. Like, just like try to stick a finger in someone's, or so yeah, a lot of strippers have problems with that kind of thing in the strip club because the women are just like super unaware of boundaries, you know? And Yeah. And then a lot of women, they'll try to like get a threesome for like them and their boyfriend. But then I did a lot of couples dances at the strip club for like a girlfriend and a boyfriend. And it was actually really fun. And the girls like really liked it. And a lot of times they would just end up making out together, like the girlfriend and the boyfriend. Like you'd be doing the dance and they'd just be like all over each other, like making out and stuff. And the strippers would kind of just look at each other and like laugh and be like, oh my God, like this is crazy. Like get a room kind of thing. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun and really cool. And it's just cool to, and also like sometimes just women a lot of times would get a dance by themselves. And like I always would try to make an effort to just talk to the women and kind of like make them feel comfortable and make them feel attractive and complimented because I know these are like the insecurities of women. That's why I'm kind of telling you guys compliment women, even very beautiful women. And then it was kind of interesting because I was just thinking, are they gonna like be attracted to me because I'm not even that into him? But then they would, and they would. I would do like tons of lap dances for girls every night, and a lot of strippers they wouldn't even want to do dances for girls because they're kind of weirded out. Although a lot of them are lesbians. A lot of strippers are lesbians in general. But yeah, I would do one-on-one dances for girls, and it was really cool. It was really fun. It's like their energy is just so different than a guy's. Yeah, so those are some thoughts. And then, like, how's that different from guys? Well, that's not how guys act at a strip club at all. So, okay, amazing, Paul. Keep me updated. My non-leather life at gmail.com. Let me know how it goes. We're all being watched says, yep, women can run a 40-person a day body count. Yeah, of course. We're all being watched as PCOS is psychologically distorting for a lot of women, different outlook and much higher libido, and much more self-criticism and negative body image. That's something I never heard before. Um, I don't think like having a higher libido should be seen as psychologically distorting. Like, guys, just get over it. Like, there's a spectrum. Some women really like sex, and some women don't as much. But if you really like sex as a woman and you have a high libido, that doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. So, Paul Karen says, ever been to a strip club where women aren't quite the A team? Cesarean scars, stretch marks, needle marks. Okay, first of all, Paul, all women have stretch marks, basically. Okay, but the lighting hides it. A scar, I don't think you would even like notice a cesarean scar, especially under the strip club lights. Needle tracks, I wouldn't even like know what to look for. But you know, I kind of feel like you guys like, do you guys even notice that? Because I don't see like I didn't see any guys noticing any of that. And the girls in the strip club, I saw what they looked like in the locker room, and they would have been the exact same girls that you guys would have been like, she is an AI generated, but under the lights and heels and in makeup and in outfits, you guys don't notice. Like, I really doubt you would notice like stretch marks. And that would like make them not the A team. Trust me, the A team has stretch marks. No, Paul. No, that's ridiculous. I've been to literally the best strip clubs in the world. And trust me, they have stretch marks. They hide. Oh god, it's just funny, you guys. Like to me, it's very funny. Like you don't know that basically all women have stretch marks, all women have cellulite, all women have some scars. You just don't notice them. And especially not in the lights of the strip club. All right, guys. Well, I gotta go. Goodbye, everybody. My non-leather life at gmail.com. If you ever want to email me, comment something. Tell me you hated what I said and you're mad. You can do it. Tell me you were so wrong to criticize me falsely. You were so rude to me. What the hell? You can tell me, okay? And I'll try to be non-defensive. And Also, if you want a session with me, mynonlinearlife@gmail.com. We could go into your specific issues. That would be incredible. I love doing that. And apologies to anyone's feeling I hurt. And thank you to everybody who shared. Thank you to everybody who super chatted me. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. All right, everybody. Peace out. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful weekend. And don't forget to look smacks.